Hey guys, how are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin evening wrap. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we will go straight over to those charts. Um, so actually we've got the S&P up here first. As you can see, this is the daily. We are looking to try and regain the daily 21. The reason why we've got the S&P up first is because I think this stock markets are the critical factor we've got going in the week ahead. Obviously, well, mainly tomorrow when they open, and then the rest of the week. If these stock markets they can bounce here and start making upward progress, then I think we will be a-okay over here in cryptocurrency land. But if we can't, if we get rejected, or if we get above and then come back below, or basically get rejected by this daily 21, and then start to make progress below this level here, then I think things will start to get pretty dicey, for all markets. And I'm not saying that's the most likely scenario, because clearly the trend is your friend. The most likely scenario is that we bounce, but if we don't, obviously, like I said, things will get pretty dicey. Also, dollar index, as you can see, we now have got a 93 handle now, which we haven't had, haven't had for a while. And in 2 hours we can actually close a daily candle with a 93 handle. So not what we want to see when we are basically all dollar bears. We're all dollar bears in cryptocurrency land. Dollar down benefits our cause, put it that way. So over to actual Bitcoin now. So yeah, the pennant we drew this morning. So as you can see, we basically tried to break out the bottom. Only managed, tried to break out the bottom, got bought back into it, tested the top of the pennant, got sold back down. So you can see it was a pretty good pennant we drew in this morning. It's basically contained a lot of the price action today. Yeah, I mean we're even closer to the actual the end of the pennant. So are we going to break up? Are we going to break down? Are we going to break neither way and just fizzle out and this be a non-entity of a pattern? But I don't think that is. I don't think sideways and fizzing out is the likely option. I think we are going to break one way. We are going to break one way or the other. Just candlestick analysis. The wicks tell me that there's obviously buying pressure to buy us up. But yeah, I mean, whilst ever price action is still coming down though, that buying pressure is obviously getting used up on these wicks. So if we do keep coming down, eventually there's not going to be the buying pressure coming. Obviously on the flip side though, if we do break above, I was talking about this level here. We'll draw it on because I think it is quite important. This level here, breaking above here, I think we will then see some upside basically. So we'll leave this on for the time being. But yeah, we've got it. We want to be doing it quite soon, so we're actually breaking out of this pennant formation to the upside. Obviously, if we don't, then if we don't, then we don't. You could argue we've got a of sorts of descending triangle forming here. You could draw it if you drew this trend line a bit different. I was sort of really just including the 2 points we had today, but obviously with how far this wick down comes, I mean, you could almost say the bottom side is at this level we've got drawn in already anyway. So yeah, we've got to be aware of that. And obviously, the trend is your friend. We've got longer time frames trends up, but we've clearly got this trend down. There is a clear and present danger of a breakdown and continuation, and that would, if you can just see the candle pole length, we will actually draw it to give us a predicted measurement of sorts, and look where it takes us. It takes us straight down to this level, here. Not necessarily the most important in recent price action, but clearly has got importance going back So where is that? That is 8,000. And that would definitely fully and formally bring into question this whole up move. And yeah, I think that may be too much for the trend to take, which is why being the optimist at the moment on Bitcoin price action is why I think if there were manipulators out there, they don't want to be taking us down to here. They don't want to be doing that. Just bear in mind, guys, like when I do say this with my overall optimism, at the moment, I mean, it's not just based on the trend of crypto, it's based on overall markets. And there was obviously a time, not obviously, but there was a time back over here when I was incredibly bearish of Bitcoin, and I was like, it's going to break down. I was telling everybody, look, this is going to break down. This is descending triangles, clear as day. It's going to break down. Almost certainly in my mind, but on the balance of probability is going to break down. So obviously this is not just because I'm forever bullish of Bitcoin. There's obviously periods of time when I'm incredibly bearish. Also, I was incredibly bearish around this 14,000 level, just because it was the a 618 target. So yeah. There was that as well. So yeah, so it's kind of what I'm just trying to tell you guys. It's not like I'm not always bullish, not always looking for bullish patterns, but I do think at the moment with stock markets, I don't think are going to crash. The dollar, which I think is going to weaken us, and then this overall trend in Bitcoin being to the upside. These are factors why I am biased to the upside. So, but obviously, like I said, if we do basically play out this this bear flag to its full basically full projected move of around 8k, then I mean, yeah, there's no longer that will be it. It won't be a bull trend for me anymore. It won't be a bull trend for a lot of people. A lot of people will exit crypto. They will they'll take their ball and leave and go and find something else somewhere else, or something else to trade. To the long side anyway, at least. Not lots of people like to just actively short markets, so not many people will stay on the basis we're in a bear market just to try and aggressively short it. People will literally just go and find a bull market elsewhere. There is always a bull market somewhere, guys. There is always a bull market. So let's have a look at those stochastics. I don't necessarily think they're going to be helping us too much, but we will see. So, well, I potentially stand corrected with the 4 hour at least. 4 hour has turned back up. So, can it get into this bullish half and start making some moves upwards? That would be good to see. That would probably get Bitcoin to a good 10,300 and then potential break of that area. 10 hour is now turning up from a very low base, and 12 hours turn back down. And we'll just have a quick look, and daily turn back down. So I mean, realistically looking at those, we could very easily play out some more downside here. But I would be looking for some sort of a substantial bounce. Like I said, the target for me usually, because what I observe in price action overall, is about the halfway point of the move. And then see if we get rejected. If we regain that halfway point, then yeah, I mean, it's 100% then onwards that you will target. But yeah, but like I say, this is not necessarily the end of the move. If we do make another leg down, wherever that leg ends, I mean, even if it just comes down to 9,000, that would obviously put the halfway point of this move actually nearer the 10,600 level. So that would then be my bounce target, and then I would expect us to get rejected by 10,600 and well, make our way down. If that basically was what happened and we broke down from here, yeah, I would expect a potential retest up to here, and then that to get rejected, and then that's it. That is just that would be your selling opportunity. This would be your level, your time, your chance to exit crypto. In my opinion, if you're wrong, not a problem. You just sit there with all your USDT or whatever you change it into, and then if you come and take out 11,000 and start to make progress, then just jump back in. But this would be if we do break down from here, come back and back test 10,600. I don't think realistically anybody could not be looking to basically just exit there if you got given that opportunity to exit there. And then and then just reassess. If we go higher, fine, get back in. If we go lower, well, either you're not even watching it anymore, so you don't care, or you look for some larger time frame bullish divergences to potentially try and get back in wherever they may land, wherever they may be. Just back to that 4 hour. Like I said, we're pretty mature in this pennant. Looking a lot like a bear flag. So, but Bitcoin especially, Bitcoin more than any other asset class, I do think has not like it's more chance of a bear flag playing out to the downside, but it has more chance than any normal market of a bear flag literally just barting back up, as we all know Bitcoin does like to do. So I mean, I'm not going to say which I necessarily think is most likely, because it kind of conflicts with my macro views. I just don't have a strong opinion on necessarily which way it would go, because I have my overall bullish bias, but then I have obviously the fact a lot of these momentum indicators are pointing down. It is a bear flag, which would statistically obviously break down, and this is a pennant, which is obviously a continuation pattern with the move being down. So so I am obviously conflicted, so I don't have any real definite conviction of where I think this will go. Just really on the levels, really, if we get back above 10,300, I think we will be looking good to come and take out this 10,600 level. I mean, if we take out 10,000, it's really bothering me, this 10,000, how many times we tested this $10,000 level. I mean, there's a 1 test, a 2 test, a 3 tester, a 4 test, a 5 test, a 6 test. We potentially call that a 7 test. Actually, it was all part of one move down. So 6 tests in such a short period of time. How many chances is it going to give us to buy around 10,000, just under 10,000 before rocketing upwards? Does that sound reasonable? It doesn't sound too reasonable to me. Whereas if you actually look towards the upside, it gave you 1 chance to sell 10,600. It gave you 1 chance to sell just over 1,300, and then as it stands at the moment, it gave you 1 chance to sell just over 10,200. All of those numbers being lower lows. So we have got to bear this. We have got to bear all this stuff in mind, guys. We have got to bear it in mind. But like I said, Bitcoin chart analysis patterns, and all aside, all that can go to the wayside when we actually look in the context of where the dollar's going and where stocks are going. Stocks go up, the dollar goes down. It doesn't really matter what the formations are in Bitcoin. We are going to go up, basically. And then similarly, if the dollar keeps going up and stocks come down, whilst it doesn't matter what patterns are in, but we are in bearish patterns anyway, but we will come down, and it is that simple. It is that simple, guys. It is that simple. Bitcoin is not an entity unto itself, not at the moment. Maybe it will become one day, but that day is not today. Wall Street weekend. Weekend Wall Street. As you can see, market's pumping a little bit. The futures are, as we could see in here as well. But yeah, market's pumping a bit. So that's obviously it's helping Bitcoin not break down at the moment. But if these futures do open, if the actual cash markets do open tomorrow, and we see a big sell-off, then we will be in trouble. And again, I'm conflicted on this. I would expect a big sell-off. I expect people have digested a lot of economic information over this long weekend for US people anyway, for the Americans, and then maybe decided they're going to cut exposure out on the open on Monday. tomorrow, on Tuesday, after Labor Day. So I think though that obviously is going to be a fact that is potentially known by certain market manipulators. So we'll either get a buyer of the S&P E-mini futures, or we'll get some sort of I don't know, vaccine news. Maybe we'll get vaccine news. Maybe Miss Pelosi, in between getting her hair done, will decide to come to a stimulus deal. Maybe well, there's not really much the Fed can do at the moment, in all honesty. They're out of ammo that they can actually use. So yeah, something. I think something will come out and pump these markets because they need saving. They need saving at the moment. It is not looking great. So, yeah, that is it, guys. So remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research. Big day tomorrow. It's a big day based on what stock markets are going to do. That is it. We need to see what stock markets are going to do. Like you can see. Is it just going to be a reasonable, not a reasonable, but like just a more than average size correction that we get, and then continuation to the upside, or even sideways up here, I think would be okay, because realistically people are worried about a major correction here. That's what they're worried about. So actually trading sideways, and we'll extend this line, especially trading above here, is actually going to be no problem for people, and they'll gradually build their confidence again, and then we'll probably then break up, unless obviously there's a catalyst to break us down. But yeah, like I said, I don't necessarily think I think the catalyst risk is to the upside. I think we have everything thrown at markets at the moment. I don't think there's much more that can be thrown at markets. So yeah, again, last time, that is it, guys. So remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I will speak to you guys in the morning.